Hello and welcome. My name is Slight, and this is a walkthrough of a recent Solo Nightmare Gunfire Reborn run that I had with the Crown Prince. And I'm going to take you through the condensed version of the run and talk about why I made some of the decisions that I made. This is going to be pretty much breakneck pace, and I'm going to try to say everything that I want to say in as short a time as possible. So I start off with a big hippo. It has extra damage against things and decay effect, which is just fine. Better than the starting weapon that I had. And it's a good choice that I picked this up. I think normally I would just skip over a big hippo, and this is a good reason to check every weapon, because this matters. This first choice is very difficult. I end up going with Energy Echo because I think it's the most flexible, but there's a great case for all three of these, and I think a lot of people are very tempted to play Energy Blade because it suits their style. I like the Energy Echo build. I tend to use it whether I'm going for an explosion build or a miasma build. So it can work. And as it turns out, this build is heavily reliant on Energy Echo. I pick up Hex Smoke level 1, that's great. Can never complain, one of the best, probably the best single point ascensions. I get a beetle really early on, and it's a big deal that I had this big hippo because it allows me to get this fire dragon. I was doing enough damage to actually take it on without running out of ammo, which is not easy to do sometimes early. And it allows me to get this fire dragon, which becomes the bread and butter all the way up until I get into the desert area. As you can see, the Energy Echo that I'm doing is already doing good damage. I'm already starting to move through people really quickly. This is a great starter kit. You know, every game that I get fire dragon early, no matter if I end up doing miasma or explosion, is very strong. I get one of the best scrolls that you can get for the cat, which is a silver medal. Extremely powerful. It synergizes very well with his perks. I also pick up Corrosion Enthusiast here, which I think a lot of people would not do. The reason I picked that up is because I'm hoping to get synergy in the next couple rooms, or even 10 scrolls from now, because Corrosion Enthusiast is so good on the cat if you can get Corrosion Immunity or you can get Slow Immunity. Either one of those two scrolls makes Corrosion Enthusiast incredibly powerful, and we are rewarded for our risk. I'm basically taking a risk early for a long-term payout. Notice how safely I played in that last room, staying behind the pillar. Very important to do. I pick up Energy Bolt, and at this point I choose to go for the explosion route. The reason is because explosion damage is calculated based on the damage instance. See that? Exploded. That's because I empowered Energy Orb with the fire damage, and then I increased its base damage, which means the explosions that it causes after, I'm applying decay, then I'm applying burning, are super high damage. And 1 point is really all you need. I am immediately paid off with Snow Boots, which negates all the negative effects of Corrosion Enthusiast, and I am looking really strong. I pick up Elemental Power here, probably the best scroll, barring Elemental Weave, that you can get on the cat. It gives you damage, it allows you to pass elemental effects between people, and you're going to see here as I take on the beetle again in the same run, which is rather unique, and it just goes to show how early I got that first beetle. Goes to show you, this will just show you how much this passing of explosions is doing. Look at the damage. I mean, this is very strong, very early. And this is not with crazy amounts of stuff. If I had any fire dragon and elemental power, I would be able to be doing that. The rest of it is just gravy on top. All three of these scrolls are good. I go with Paranormality because it's the best. Talk about that here in a sec. Here, this guy should die, but you'll notice that I applied the burning before I applied the decay, and that really cuts your damage a lot. You want the explosion that you do to be based on the energy orb damage that you do, especially once you've boosted that energy orb damage. I ended up exploding them with a grenade damage tick of damage, which is almost nothing. This room tends to be really tough for people. My major suggestion is play slow at the far end of the room when you first get in there, and then hide underneath the platform. Very strong. Alright, so we've got Search Scroll. Best not to get, you don't want to look too long in a Search Scroll. You kind of want to just pick the best mediocre scroll you get offered. Here we have to pick Toxic Smoke because Acidic Explosion isn't good unless you have Toxic Smoke. And Acid Dominance is terrible. We've got good movement speed now that we've got Decay Driver. That's combining well with our Corrosion Enthusiast and Snow Boots combo. Now we should be having plus 60% move speed whenever we're attacking someone under the decay effect. And we make pretty short work of Lu Wu. And granted, I think I'm stronger than I normally am right now. I mean, I think that's definitely the case. But all of the stuff that's working right now doesn't have to be the most optimal versions. And these are not the most optimal versions. These are just good. And that's not to say I play perfectly at all. Here we have a really, really tough choice based on the decisions that I've made. I think most people would pick Energy Bolt here, but I definitely do not. And I think it's a pretty clear pick for me. It didn't take me long to figure that out. Blinding Sphere is one of the best underrated ascensions for the cat because it allows you to do a couple things that you normally can't do. It's actually a defensive scroll. Remember, every single unit you hit with Energy Orb heals your shield by 5%, okay? So the more people you hit, the more shield that you generate, and that's just with one orb. Okay, the second most important thing is that it reduces threat in a larger area. I have all this move speed. I can be right up in people's faces, which means they're going to be crowded around me, which means that each Energy Orb is very likely to hit a large amount of people, and I need it to. Once I'm starting to get huge amounts of people into one Energy Orb hit, if I'm doing Decay on all of them, and I've got Elemental Power, the cascading damage effects are going to be crazy with grouped up enemies. Notice here how I'm kiting this guy around pillars, because he can only shoot in front of him. So as he's traversing these corners, he actually can't shoot me with his corrosion effect. Granted, I can't be corroded or slowed right now. I can be corroded, but I can't be slowed. So I'm not too scared of him, but this is good practice when you're actually, you're not as in quite a good position as I am. See, this is just what I'm doing right here. And there are ways to do that normally. Now here I make my first mistake of the run. I don't recognize that I'm out of smoke grenades, and that's a big mistake because I need smoke grenades to get my movement speed. And here, right here is where I make the decision to start recognizing the threat of these guys. If I had smoke grenades, these guys would be dead, you know? But now they're all spread out, and I have to kill them one by one and really respect the threat that they offer. And so that's what I do. Split them up, kill them one by one, but they do get that first kill on me this run, and I deserved it because I was not aware that I was out of smoke grenades. Here I recognize and make a switch to the Justice. Now I'm going to keep that up on screen so you can see what I am working with here. And I pick up Blinding Sphere level 2 for the same reasons as before. But I recognize that this Justice is very, very strong. And here I make a mistake. I picked the shield upgrade, but I should have picked health because Paranormality would have given me the health as shield. So that was a little mistake right there. I'm going to take you through this run, or this room, the entire way through because I think that it'd be very easy to lose the run right here. First thing is, on the first wave, I don't use any of my grenades. I only have 6. I am going to only use grenades when the threat is starting to get high because if I run out, I am going to die. I'm going to lose this room and it's going to be terrible. My focus is on killing the highest priority targets first. This guy is attacking me. Guess what? He's not attacking the seal. So I ignore him until I've got the other people killed. I am looking to gain aggro from bad guys, from the enemies. Because if I can gain aggro, that means they're not attacking the seal. And that is very hard to do. Some enemies do not like to aggro on you. And I don't know how it works for them to gain aggro for you. So I'm really focusing on killing bandit retainers. And the flamethrower guys, I don't remember their name. And then I'm cleaning up the rest once I'm done. If I focus on these smaller enemies, yeah, it feels good to kill them first, but that means a bandit retainer got a full round of shots off onto my seal, and that's, 10% of its HP. And I cannot let that happen. If that happens too many times, I just lose. So, once again, I'm looking at my minimap here, and I'm seeing guys slipping past my body here. I'm letting people through, and I have to kill these guys first. It's just so important that I focus on the most important people. And you'll notice I'm taking damage here. But I think overall, I'm taking less damage. Because now, these guys are relatively grouped up. I'm surprised this guy's over here. But when they're grouped up like this, that's when I'm the best. And so it's much easier for me to kill them when they're like this. So, take out the stragglers first. Those are the hardest to kill. And then when everyone's grouped up around the seal, I'm really powerful. I can decay all of them. I'll fix that in editing. I knocked over my microphone, but while they're all grouped up, I can do huge damage to them. All right, cleaning up this last guy. I've got one more wave to do, still focusing on the same things. I'm very lucky here to take out 2 high threat targets at once, which is not easy to do. And I think they always spawn like this, so that's just something to memorize if you have the opportunity. Then I'm trying to prioritize these lizards. These lizards do ridiculous damage because they put an AoE under your seal, which deals just a ridiculous amount of damage. Not trying to worry too much about this. The rogue arsonist, that's who I'm trying to kill. If these guys start flamethrowing your seal, the health just goes so quickly. I think it's because it doesn't have like any shield, so it very well may take extra damage from fire damage. I am out of grenades, and I do notice this time, because this particular dodge routine you can do without any move speed buffs. Right now I am only attacking, or I am the cat with no move speed buffs, and I was able to dodge all of those shots by ticking back and forth like that. Excellent find here. Blinding Sphere level 3. So useful. Is it Binding Sphere or Blinding Sphere? Start upgrading my Justice. That's what I want to be doing. And you can see the damage that I'm putting out with my sphere, or my energy orb, is getting pretty crazy. And worth it. It's feeling worth it would be my main thing. I pick up a Dragon Chaser with fire damage here because I'm thinking ahead about what am I not able to do, and I don't have a good way to deal with long range targets. You'll notice here that I focused that Bandit Tactician in the back. And that's because I'm full paranormality. I have full shields. So that guy does electricity damage, which means he can one-shot me. And on Solo Nightmare, he will one-shot you. So I have to take him out first and be very, very aware of him. We'll see a big explosion here. I am the AoE on Energy Orb is so high and so useful. It does so much at reducing enemy threat. And it's very, very strong. It's kind of like having a bird leap, but you just have to do it preemptively. I pick up 1 point in Wildfire here. 1 point in Wildfire is very, very good. And because I have 3 abilities to improve my movement speed, I am able to stay right on top of the Wind God for most of this fight, as you're watching right now. I stay close to him, I keep him decayed, because I have to get my movement speed bonuses. So that is hard to do. That is skill-based. You have to know where he's going to go, where he is, and hit the grenade under him so that he gets applied. He doesn't get slowed by grenades. You just have to keep applying it for the elemental effect, and that's difficult to do. But you will see me dispatch him with some relative ease. I mean, he's a tough boss sometimes, but I don't think that I was at too big of a risk of dying, and I clean him up with a little time to spare. Pick up some Elemental Rage. Toxic Smoke level 2 is like a 33% increase just on grenade damage, whereas the other one was a 30% increase on all elemental damage, so that's better. I showed you how much damage my energy orb is doing. All those people are dead. And I intentionally don't pick up Spirit Feline here because I'm already really tanky. I've already got something that's working really well. I love Spirit Feline, and I think it's a one scroll wonder defensive scroll. Maybe even the best defensive scroll in the game. But I'm already very tanky, or as tanky as I'd like to be in a specific way, and I don't want to change that and have to adapt my playstyle when it's working. Switching gears like that might be dangerous for me, might end up causing me to lose the run. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think that getting Spirit Feline there might have been that case. Although I could have been wrong. But as you can see, my in-your-face build is doing some crazy damage. And it's all about, recognizing that this Justice was very, very strong because of its high chance to apply elemental effects with elemental power passing those effects around. Don't pick up Curse Scrolls. I'm doing well. I don't need a Curse Scroll. Curse Scrolls represents 10% chance to not be able to apply elemental effects, which means I lose. You'll see me skip that there. I want another energy orb. I don't want more fire damage. I want to do more different things. I want more opportunities, not to do better at the opportunities I already have. That's the kind of idea that I'm getting at with the cat here. The bird has a leap. Being better at leap, doing leaps better, is worth it. But the cat doesn't have that same overpowered ability. And so he needs to be able to do more things with what he has. Notice here that I am taking the time to go farm smoke grenades because I need to. And I was out of smoke grenades, and it was very important that I have them. And if I had not have them, I would not be able to spawn camp these goons and kill them while they come in. Yeah, doing really, really good damage. And I can just stay right up in front of people's faces. So this setup right here, as you can see, does crazy, crazy damage. I'm getting corrosion on all of them, and then I'm using my energy orb. And because they are passing explosion damage between them and the actual energy orb is doing high damage because it's hitting multiple targets, the damage is really, really crazy. And so I'll show you that again here. Very, very high damage. And easy. It's not like requiring a lot of setup. That is just not difficult to do. Alright? And here you will see the flailing grasps of a dying man. I don't play with the Justice a lot, and I thought it'd be really easy to shoot the mortars out of the air. And then I got really narrow-minded, or at least short-sighted, and just was trying to do that, and end up throwing the run right at the end. Very rare for me to die on the final boss when I'm doing this well, but I did, and I'm not afraid to show that. But what I should have done here was switch to the Foundry, because the Foundry is actually fairly good at shooting stuff out of the air, the mortars and stuff. In the Justice, I thought that the explosion AoE would just knock the mortar out of the air, but it didn't quite work that way. So, well, that covers this run. I think that was relatively instructive. The main points were Elemental Power, very, very strong. Energy Echo with Binding Sphere or Blinding Sphere, very, very strong. And this run is a testament to how those work together. Going an explosion build does not necessitate going a grenade build, okay? You don't have to do both of those at the same time. The grenade build, which is a type of explosion build, tends to focus more on getting Energy Blade and Acidic Explosion and comboing off of chain damage from killing people. So that does it for me. I hope you learned something. I hope that was interesting. I was trying to talk as fast as I could, and I hope I got everything in there. Have a wonderful day. If it's going to be a hard day to have a wonderful day, have an okay day. And don't be too hard on yourself. You're only human, man. You know? There's only so much you can do. It's the truth. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Oh, also, feel free to sub and like the video. Subscribe. Don't subscribe for me. I'm not really trying to monetize my channel. Only subscribe if you want to see the content. And if more of this kind of stuff is helpful. I'm not interested in pandering to you to try to get you to subscribe for my benefit. This is something that I do for fun, and that I think is useful for other people. And I'm not interested. I only want to be a utility to you. So if that is something you're interested in, go for it, because I'm here. Have a good one.